Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. Today is day 2 of me doing this 33 to 33. Not only is it day 2 of that, but we are doing year 1992, which is when I turned 1. So we will be talking about that. Full disclosure to you guys here on the channel, I have had a really bad day. I'm going to do the show anyway because I committed to trying this. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. But I have had a really bad, upsetting day. What the hell is even on my face? A pimple? Great. Who the fuck cares? So I'm going to do my very best. And that is what we're going to do. So welcome to 1992. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not committing to the whole thing yet because yesterday I made $6. So if you guys, this is a fan-funded show. If the fans do not fund, then the show does not go. So streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. But I wanted to do 33 to 33, go live 33 days in a row, and go through the years and talk about my life during those years, but also talk about what happened in the world during those years. And so we're doing 1992 today. It'll be a nice little distraction for me. Okay, that's where we are. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in, send support. Let me know, what was your favorite song of that year? What was your favorite movie of that year? What was your favorite show of that year? What do you remember happening in your life that year? Were you alive during that year? Were you not alive during that year? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. My mind is all over the place, but I am here with you guys and I am going to get through this because that's what we do. Let's start. Oh, and I wanted to share, if we do well enough today, I'm going to read. My dad, I think I told you guys this, writes me letters. He wrote me a letter every year until my 18th birthday for me to open one day. And I haven't read this since he gave it to me. And so far, like, he gives me letters on years that are particularly hard now or something. And he gave me this letter several years ago. This is the letter he wrote me on my first birthday. And I was going to read it with you guys. So let's see if we earn that. Okay. Thanks to my dad. Such a beautiful thing that he does. Let's go into let's start with TV shows, because the TV shows from last time, from 91, are very similar to TV shows from 92. It's so funny because when we do movies and music, obviously the top movies, the top songs completely change year to year. I never really thought about this with television, but this is why I love television. It doesn't drastically change year to year because it is, oh no. No, I'm on the right Wi-Fi. Can you guys see me? It doesn't change drastically year to year because seasons. So the top 4 Nielsen rated shows are the exact same that they were in 1991 as they are in 92. 60 Minutes, Roseanne, Home Improvement, and Murphy Brown. Can anybody guess what the number 5 show was in 1992? I had no idea this show came out in 92. Honestly, I thought this show came out decades before. So, yeah, I know, Sam, it's 60 minutes ago. I know. And thank you guys for the people who don't support in the Streamlabs or Super Chat because times are tough. But you do leave a comment and like and share and all of that. I'm so grateful. We got some amazing comments from the first video, which did encourage me to keep on doing this. I loved Narcolepsy saying, whose fave show was 60 Minutes? Marcel the Shell. That cracked me up because, yes. Chris, the Asperger guy, said that 1991 was one of the best years of his life. And he was nearing the end of first grade, and he gave us some details. And I love hearing about your guys' lives. I read that one. Then Paul Totillo asked for it to maybe include the biggest scandal of each year, which I would love. I don't know exactly how I'd find, but I did have things I want to include about this year, 92. And we'll see. Maybe I can start incorporating the biggest scandals, especially from the years that I remember. These are the years that I don't fully remember. I love Thousand Whites and great idea. I want to see more. Jay Morgan said the same thing. Love this idea. Excited to see 98, which was Jay Morgan's birth year. And then people liked that I was getting ready during the videos, so maybe I can continue to do that. And Eric said, I love this video. Can't wait to see the other 32. We'll see if we get there. Our girl Britt said, this was so fun. I love the format you did. Wouldn't change a thing if it was up to me. So thank you guys so much to the people who did comment. Just wanted to shout a few of you guys out because it's so cool to read your guys' thoughts on this new mini series that I am doing. I also love the fact that I believe, fingers crossed, we have our first Streamlabs of the evening this June 11th, the 2 out of 33 that we are at, that will lead us right to my birthday. Shout out to, oh, Mike, what a cool idea. He did $19.92, which already means that we're doing better than the first episode. But he did that because 1992. So great. He said, I guess my favorite memory of 1992 is being born. Also, the movie that came out the week I was born was Basic Instinct, which I've never seen. Have you seen the movie that came out the week that you were born? There was like 5 movies that came out the week that I was born. I forget what they were, but I remember thinking I had seen like half of them. Let's look them up right now. Movie release date, summer 1991. But these are going to be 91 movies. Okay, Point Break came out summer 91. So yes to that. And Boys in the Hood came out summer 1991. These are July 12th. So yes. And then after that was Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which I actually don't think I ever saw. But some good ones. And then the week before my birthday was Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So big, some big movies. Okay. So yeah, I was also looking because one of the things I was talking about was just maybe saying some of the things that were going on in the world more that day. So I was looking up, I literally Googled what happened in 1992. And here's what Google said happened in 1992. The 25th Olympics game opened in Barcelona. Bill Clinton was elected as the 42nd U.S. president. And America voted for either a young or old Elvis Presley to be used on a postage stamp. I forgot about the whole postage stamp thing. Snail mail. This 1992 timeline lists things. So those were some of the things that they listed. Let's see. If we go into it more, it will give us more of a timeline if you guys are curious at all on some of the things that happened in 1992. Let's do what happened in 1992 pop culture. No, what big events happened in 92? The Summer Olympics, the Washington Redskins, formerly known as the Commanders, win the Super Bowl. IBM ThinkPad 700 launched. Jay Leno takes over The Tonight Show. Denmark wins Euro 92. Reservoir Dogs premiered. Mortal Kombat becomes an arcade hit. These are some fun ones. Okay, 92, bringing the heat. Do you guys let me know what your favorite memory or your favorite thing is of 92. Song, movie, whatever. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Euro Disney opened. So Disneyland Paris, as it's called now, which I guess was called Euro Disney, opened April 12th, 1992. The Cold War formally ends. Okay, let's go. February 1992, which was a formal end to the Cold War and ushered in a new era of friendship and partnership. Oy vey. Fast forward. Kate Moss and Mark Wahlberg in CK1. Oh, that's Calvin Klein. So those are what are listed as some of the big ones. Let's check out what was going on in music at the time. So if you notice, I put Whitney on the cover of this. The reason I put Whitney on the thumbnail of this is because it's not, I Will Always Love You came out in 92. And it is the number 1 song on the Billboard chart of 93 because it was on the charts number 1 hit for 14 weeks in a row. But it wasn't there until 93, but it came out in 92 and isn't on the charts in 92. So I didn't want to, it's a 92 song, so that's why she's on there. But she's not in the top 5 of 92. The top 5 of 92. Let's see. Let's get some guessing going on. What do you guys think? In the chat, let me know. Don't cheat. Cheaters are losers. Let me know. What do you think were the top songs of 1992? Or if you can't guess the song, guess the artist. The number one song makes me so effing happy. It's insane. So we're going to build our way up to it. When I saw this was the number one song, I was like, there's no way that was the number one song of the year. What a time for the 90s. What a time. But let's go with number 5, a group that I love. TLC, Baby, Baby, Baby. Number 4, Vanessa Williams, Save the Best for Last. Never would have guessed that. These top 3 are all attainable for you guys, though. You could have guessed all of these. You could have. So number 3, Jump, Crisscross. Number 2, Baby Got Back, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Awesome. Awesome that was the number 2 song of 92. The number 1 song of 1992 was, in fact, End of the Road, Boys to Men. And again, if you send in enough Streamlabs for a karaoke request, I will sing the number 1 song of each year on these shows. So send in the Streamlabs. Let me know if you want me to sing the number 1 song of each of these years. It's just so great because End of the Road, it's such, I don't want to like belittle what Boyz II Men did because it's amazing, but they are a boy band and they had the number 1 song of 92, and it is like such an iconic. End of the Road is just so in your feels, and it just so matches the energy of 1992 when I think about it. Just like, yeah, that's unreal. So that was 1, End of the Road. 2, Baby Got Back. 3, Jump. 4, Save the Best for Last. 5, Baby, Baby, Baby. Hell yeah. Hell yeah to all of those. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Streamlabs in, Super Chat in, 1992. We're talking about it. If we get enough support in the Streamlabs, I will read this letter from my dad to me for my first birthday. And that is how I will tell you guys a little bit about my life at the time. We talked about TV. We talked about songs. Let's talk about what the year was. You guys know 91 was year of the GOAT. And 92 was the year of the monkey, which to me would be maybe like the coolest one to be part of. I feel most connected to monkeys because I feel like I'm such like a climbing, like Greg always at Real Rejects is like, you're climbing monkey, because I like can't sit still. I'm all over the chair when we're sitting there. And like a monkey's just dope. You're the monkey, Year of the Monkey is gonna like fuck shit up, right? Like monkeys are just wild childs. And I don't know, something about Year of the Monkey has energy. Year of the Monkey is funky fresh. Year of the Monkey is like, what are you gonna get? Plus I love the Monkeys, which is not in Year of the Monkey, but I'm really into the fact that this is Year of the Monkey. Shout out to Andrew Thomas in the super chat. Don't forget, guys, I love super chats, but they take about 50%. So Streamlabs in, if you could go over to streamlabs.com/theworldgirls. But thank you, Andrew Thomas, for this. He said, happy 32 days of becoming 32, Sexy Roxy. Well, no, it's 33 to 33. So on July 13th, I'll be 33. And now this is day 2 of our countdown. But thank you. And Very Beautiful Eyes. In 1992, the only movie I remember seeing as a kid was the original Aladdin movie, A Whole New World. Did that come out in 92? It's pretty cool. It's like, why weren't those movies, like Beauty and the Beast was 91, Aladdin was 92? Like, why weren't those movies in the top 5 grossing? Because they are some of the biggest movies of all time, I would think. Shout out to J-Dog in the super chat. My dad baked nearly 20 different pies for Thanksgiving, 1992. You name it, he baked them. Terrific memories. Okay, let's think about 20 different pies. Pecan pie, apple pie, pumpkin pie. Like, what other Thanksgiving pies are there? He must have just gone off, right? He must have just been like, all right, blueberry, lemon meringue, key lime, like, because there's no way. What did I say? Mike, I gave a wrong Streamlabs. Did I say World Goals? I meant streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Did I say the wrong thing? Who the fuck knows? I barely know where my head is today. I'm telling you, it has been a really rough one. But anyway, okay. So yes, thank you. Oh, maybe some not sweet pies. Maybe some savory pies. I was like, what the fuck's the word for salty, but not always salty? Pie is good. I'm a cake girl over a pie girl, but pie is good. Oh, maybe shepherd's pie. What others? Okay, let us know. Name all 20 of them. You won't. You won't. Thank you for that, J Dog. Thank you to Andrew and to J Dog and to Mike Joyce for being our financial supporters of the day. You guys are the only reason I'm able to be here and do this. So hopefully you show up to show out. And a big shout out to our next Streamlabser. Hell yeah, Jake Yacovetta in the Streamlabs. Let's go. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider. He says, I went to Euro Disney in 1992. It was trash. It was staffed by rude ass French people. No Disney vibes at all. The rides were cool, but an 8-year-old, I was like, these people suck. That's crazy as an 8-year-old to feel like people are rude. Like they were being rude to an 8-year-old. I'm actually really bummed because when I was backpacking through Europe, I was with my best friend, Lindsay, and sometimes you have to compromise about things. And we were in France. And when we were there, I was like, we had a day to figure out what we wanted to do, like a free day. And I was like, yo, I really want to go to Disney. And she was like, I really want to go to Versailles. And I was like, oh, bro, we're seeing so many castles on this trip. Can we just do something fun? But she wanted to do like all the tourist main things. And I barely fucking remember Versailles. I remember thinking it was pretty and shit. She's like, I want to go to Disney. And she won that one. And I'm still not over it. And I haven't been back to France since. Not that Jake's story just made me like clamor to go to Euro Disney, but it would be cool. It would be nice. So, anyways, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in. Let's chit chat about the movies. Okay, guess the top 5 highest grossing movies of 1992. On the thumbnail, I put Wayne's World because I was shocked to see that this was number 5. Stoked to see that it was number 5. We just don't see big comedies like this as the highest grossing movies of the year anymore. And the highest grossing movie of the year had 162 million and this had 120 million, which is like not that far off. Good for you, Wayne's World. I was a huge Wayne's World fan. Couldn't have been when it came out because I wouldn't have seen it, but it must have been only a few years later, honestly. Watched this as a kid. Loved Wayne's World. Number 4, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. This is one of my besties, Ashley. Her favorite movie is Home Alone 2. She references it nonstop. And I haven't seen Home Alone 2 since I was a kid. I barely remember Home Alone 2. So maybe it's time for a rewatch. Number 3, Sister Act. I feel like this top 5, all of these have held up and are still wildly famous. So Sister Act being number 3 makes perfect sense. Number 2, Lethal Weapon 3. I don't think I ever saw this, but obviously the Lethal Weapon franchise is huge and again checks out. Number 1, as you guys already have guessed, it is Batman Returns. It is wild to me that that's how long DC has been putting out like movies that are, I mean, they've been putting up movies longer than that, that are like people are absolutely obsessed with. But it's just when I think about Batman Returns, I think of that as like a recent movie, which is crazy because it was 32 years ago. But I just think of that as like the new wave of DC. It's just not even close. Not even close. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Did I say the world goal again last time? I probably did. Whatever. Send money. Let's go, Ash, in the chat. A new guy says, can't watch live, but 1992 is my birth year, so I hope it's mostly positive. Yeah, all this stuff is pretty good so far. I mean, like, of all this stuff, the top things to be 60 minutes, whatever, bizarre, but okay. Batman Returns and End of the Road. I will take it. And Year of the Monkey, which is maybe my favorite part of it. I haven't done a Batman Returns rewatch in a very long time. That would be a very fun one for me and Steph to do, I feel. Didn't she say she hadn't seen all those movies? Didn't she watch something with D? I don't remember, but that's definitely a fun one. And I would for sure like to watch it again soon. What was your favorite movie of 1992? Look it up, mofos. I can't believe this was the year Aladdin came out. And like, would you have ever guessed that Wayne's World grossed more money than Aladdin? That would not have been on my bingo card. Who would have known? Not me. Not I, said the rocks. Okay, let's check out what's going on in the Streamlabs and the super chat. Thank you so much to the people who have supported financially so far and the people who are here and comment and like and subscribe and all of that. J-Dog and Andrew Thomas and Mike Joyce and Jake and Ash and now Leonard Kim in the house. Thank you, Leonard Kim. He says 1992 is my birth year, so naturally I don't remember a damn thing. I'm glad it gave us Aladdin and the Dream Team, though. I hope your day brightens up. Thank you. In the world of full transparency that I like to do here at Live at the Roxy, I lost somebody I really cared about today, in like a horrible way, and it just, yeah, it's fucking brutal. Brutal. Somebody very, very close to my family, the best friend of Grammy and Puppo. Well, anyway, I'm like torn because it's like I'm in the middle of the 1992 show, but it's like all I'm thinking about. And so, you guys know I like to be upfront with you guys, but he's in his mid 90s and there was just something horrible happened. Anyway, he's gone. And I saw him 3 times a week for the last 15 years I've been out here. And just Grammy is in shambles today. It's been fucking horrible. I was on the phone with his granddaughter all day too, and just, I can't even imagine. It's fucking awful. Anyway, so, yeah, and we were part of like calling everybody, and it's just got sadder and sadder with every phone call. Like everybody in the neighborhood came out into the streets and was like, people were coming over all day and talking to us because they know this is Grammy and Papa's best friend. So it was tough. A tough fucking day. Okay. Just gonna not right now because then we won't. And I'm on 90. We're in 1992. We are in 1992. Shout out to RQMDSMD for the Streamlabs. Really appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who's showing up in here. I am so grateful for the support. And I think, thank you so much. Also, Stan Stryer. That's my guy, Lloyd. Sorry for your loss, Team Stryer, Roxanne, every day. Yes. Well, that was a really fast Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Trying to be here every day. We'll see how I can do. We'll see how I can do. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to break for a second on 1992. We'll come back to it because I really do want to read you guys this letter from my dad that he wrote me in 1992. But this guy was like the best human ever. And his wife died a few years ago, and she was amazing too. And he took care of her, and he was in his 90s and she was too. And she had like 15 kinds of cancer by the time she passed, and she had no nose anymore, and just like it was horrible. And he night and day took care of her. And until like 2 weeks ago, he was driving every day with a different person, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And um, he would bring Grammy and Papa, like if he would go get pies, he would bring them always a pie and like nonstop bringing them stuff. I used to bring him a lot of food too, and they shared everything from like medical. He gave us like a wheelchair and other medical devices and stuff that we needed, and back and forth. And he was just like the fucking best. They had the same primary care. And I saw him a week and a half ago I was taking Grammy to the doctor, and I took Grammy to the doctor today, to the same doctor. And I thought that he would know. And I had to tell the doctor what happened. But a week and a half ago, the last conversation I had with him, he was coming out of the doctor, and I was going into the doctor, and we had a really, really close relationship. Because I think you guys know, in that community, I in the conservatory, to Grammy and Papa's next door neighbor, but I'm very close with a lot of people. The person I'm closest with, other than the next door neighbor, is this man. And he was not doing very well. And he looked really skinny, and he was with his granddaughter who had come in from out of town. And I said to him, because she was leaving that day, and I could tell he was nervous about her leaving. And I said, I'm here for anything, anytime, call me. Him and I would talk on the phone and text and stuff. He was not the greatest texter, but anything you need, I'll come running. And he said to me, I want to let you know, I know you would. I know you'd come running, and that means the world to me. And that's the last conversation we had. And Grammy and I were trying to go see him, and we called him the last 3 days, and he wasn't picking up. And then, we found out he didn't want to be here anymore. Last night he made the decision, and then this morning we found out. I found out because I was coming to pick up Grandma to go to the doctors, and a neighbor came and flagged down my car, and another neighbor who I love, and she was like, I'm so sorry about the man. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I can't believe you didn't know. Because she would have thought we would have been the first call, but it was his caretaker found him, and she was given to him by somebody down the street, and she had called her to let her know, and she was just making her way down all the calls, and it just hadn't gotten to us yet. Fucking horrible. Oh. Anyway, it's just like that sometimes. I think it was like Grammy was kind of shell shocked. I told her on the way to the doctor because I was nervous that the doctor was going to say something to Grammy, because we're all really close. And I was like, I want her to hear it from me. I don't want to wait to tell her. And then she was kind of not responding. And I was like, Gram, did you hear me? Like trying to look at her and like put my hand on her leg, and she was not really talking. And then we got into the doctor's office, and she just started fucking bawling. And our doctor was like, what's going on? And she was like, I'm so sad about, and then said what happened. And he was like, what? And just, he didn't know. And we figured he would have known, because usually that, whatever. And then we all were like fucking in tears and just brutal, brutal. It's like my sister said this to me on the phone today. She was like, I can't believe you can make it into your 90s and your best friend can still like take their own life. It's just something that you don't think about at that age, that that's going to be the way. Whew. Okay. Anyway, okay. Thank you for letting me talk a little bit about that. Has nothing to do with 1992, although I knew him well in 92. I lived in LA at the time, and he lives right around the corner, and has for this whole time. And yeah, as I tried to transition, I went right back into it. I cannot believe we're not going to be seeing him every day. Just what a beautiful soul. Every time I think of him, I'm going to feel so much warmth in my soul, knowing that he was here and the planet was better for him being here. Okay. So I'm going to read the letter. Thank you for your support. And yeah, thank you for supporting this series and letting me kind of jump around. I know we're not just talking about 1992, but okay. Thank you for you guys in the Streamlabs as well. I really appreciate it. You guys are the reason I'm able to continue doing this. So shout out to Dominic, who just says condolences. It's so sweet. Really big support. Thank you for that massive, massive support from Dominic and from Lloyd and from RQMDSMD. What does that stand for? I must know one day. Leonard and Ash and Jake and Mike and J-Dog and Andrew Thomas. And thank you for this, ZB. Oh, I needed that little smiling face. Sometimes that's what we need. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. When I was talking to his granddaughter today, because all three, it's actually just crazy sad story. All three of this man's kids all died like horribly tragically. One of them in a plane crash. Like they all died 30 years ago. He outlived all three of his children by like decades. And so I was talking to his granddaughter today, who is close to him like I am to Grammy, except doesn't live here. And it's just like so fucked up that when we're the most heartbroken is when we have to do the most logistics stuff. Like she has to go in there and like figure out what to do. You know, what to do with him, what to do with his home, what to do with the next steps. It's just like so much what to do. It's like, how can anybody? And I stepped in and was like, this isn't the time for you to be dealing with logistics. I've got you. Just so fucking hard. But knowing him, I bet he has it all fucking laid out because he always had everything all laid out. I bet he like pre-did everything, honestly. That's my guess. Okay. So, let's take a look at this letter and see what life was like for me in 92. So for anybody who missed the top of the stream, my dad wrote me a letter every year of my life until I was 18. Crazy enough, the reason he did this was because my dad has always had this sneaking suspicion that he wasn't going to be around for very long. Lucky for me, I think he's dead ass wrong. But he was always worried that he wasn't going to be here. And so He wanted to write me a letter every year on my birthday until I was 18, so that he could give them to me. Somebody could give them to me on my birthdays if he passed. But he's doing amazing and he's the best. And so he just decided to start giving some of the letters to me, my sister, and my brother early. And so I have, I think, 3 total letters, and this is from my first birthday. And it's a few pages. It's a 5-page letter, but I thought we could read it together and just kind of see what life was like. My dad's a funny writer, so maybe give some of you guys ideas if you want to do this for your nieces or nephews or kids, or I don't know. Okay, so July 13th, 1992. Dear Roxanne, this is your first birthday, my dear. We live in Encino, so that's in LA. And funny enough, that's when I was out here. That's where I had my first job, when I moved back out here at 18. It's 10:30 p.m. I'm watching Hubert Humphrey's 1968 acceptance speech on C-SPAN. His handwriting is very difficult. I am listening to you crying in your crib. I fear you might be getting ill. You just got over an awful virus that lasted for about 2 weeks. Basically, darling, you are a healthy, robust 1-year-old. It has, however, been a tough couple of weeks for you. Today, for your birthday, Mommy took you and Jet to the LA Zoo. I wish I could have gone, but I had to work. Mommy told me you were afraid of the gorillas. That's funny. I think that's a good thing. Generally, you are a most inquisitive baby. How crazy is that? This is what I'm always talking about. Like, how you are as a kid is kind of sometimes how you are. People now say that I'm still the most inquisitive person they know. You like to know how things work. I think that that's a very good thing. There was a slogan that was popular during the early stages of the Reagan administration. It was a very conservative time, in what was a very conservative time in this country. A few hardy liberals, such as your daddy, took solace in the phrase, question authority. Next page, dearest. If I may take liberty with a bit of America, I might add, be sure you're right. That's my first bit of advice to you, my daughter. I can tell already you are a very intelligent child. You are certain to be an opinionated woman like your mother. I think that this is an excellent thing. Have your opinions, have a good basis for those opinions, and articulate it well. And that reminds me of another little phase that everyone in this family would do well to remember. Lose your temper, lose the argument. You see, I already love you. I already have you pegged as a temperamental intellectual. Expect a lot of you, my dear. Use your brain to accomplish things of significance. Don't allow yourself to be oppressed for your womanhood. I hope things are changing in this world to be less sexist. Although prejudice of all kinds will always exist, you must never accept it. Hey, do you know your name was almost Gramunda? Unique, huh? Well, that was the name offered up by Jet when Mommy and Daddy solicited his opinion. This, of course, being prior to your birth. I'm just looking at you guys for now. How are you feeling about this? Is anybody interested by this letter? Gramunda. My brother to this day still calls me Gramunda, so that's crazy. It was because there was a show, Fraggle Rock, and he thought that it sounded like one of the characters on the show. But to this day, he calls me Gramunda. You joined a roving, when you were born at Cedars-Sinai Hospital, you joined a roving band of gypsies known as the Striders. Okay. We were formerly wealthy, but that's a long story. We have spent the last couple of years bouncing around the LA area from house to house. Oh, yeah, they were broke at this time. You, Roxanne, have lived in 3 houses since you were born: Griffith Park, Sherman Oaks, and now Encino. When my dad came out here a couple years ago, him and I went to all 3 of those houses together. Um, Things are starting to get better for us. I have a new company, Liquilife, that I'm starting to get off the ground. I don't think it worked. So the house in Encino is a fine home. We are all very happy here. You don't walk yet, but when you do, it will horse be an easy horse as it is just one floor. Oh, an easy house as it is just one floor. Although that one floor is hardwood, it in places flagstone, in other places tile, and others. No, this no doubt will lead to you saying your mother and I over injuries sustained to you, suing your mother and I over injuries sustained to you as a child. See there, a temperamental intellectual attorney. Oh, well, if you must. Next page, darling. Let's see. As I write you, I am realizing an interesting seasonal coincidence. As your birthday is mid-July, it will quite frequently be on or about the Democratic convention held every 4 years. Now, wouldn't it be an interesting birthday trip for you to go to a convention, a politically arca a politically active, temperamental, intellectual attorney, question mark, just so happens that the Democrats are conveying as we put pen to paper. Bill Clinton will be the nominee, and only you will know upon reading this whether, in fact, he became president. I hope so. Actually, we will all know, but you know what I mean. You know about this attorney thing. I don't know. I want you to know that any of the respectful trades of major salary levels will be quite acceptable to your dad. Bucks plus brains equal power. Power in the right hands can be a very good thing, and conversely, a very bad thing when in the wrong hands. Formerly, Rock, you can do something about both. No, fortunately, Rock, you can do something about both. Use your brain and work hard. Establish realistic goals and achieve them. Next page, kid. All right, we're getting to the last page. Then establish higher goals and achieve them. As I told you, my darling daughter, your daddy expects a lot from you. But rest assured, my dearest girl, I expect and hope simply that you sleep through the night tonight. Happy first birthday, Roxanne. Love, Daddy. How fucking cute. Feel very lucky to have a thoughtful father like that. It's so crazy how life works because my dad always thought he wasn't going to be here. And my mom's the one who's not here. Just life is fucking weird, man. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Thank you guys for being here for the 1992 show. Thank you, Dominic and Lloyd and Rickamadisamid and Leonard Kim and Ash and Jake and Mike, and to Andrew and Jay and ZB for your support in the Streamlabs and Super Chats. I'm going to be getting out of here in the next couple of minutes, so send in any final bits of support. Thank you for letting me process with you guys. It's going to be a long road of processing ahead. But I'm very grateful for the things I do have. Really working on my gratitude, like for things like that letter, which I'll have forever. And they're just so special. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. Okay. So tomorrow will be 93. Either I have to have a 9 a.m. meeting, 11. I probably we'll do the show maybe right before World Girls. Let's see what, either right before World Girls or right after World Girls. Yeah, either right before or right after, I think. But I'll post it on. I can't. I have my first meeting is at like 8 in the morning, so I don't think I can do it before that. Oh boy, we shall see. I will try to make it work, even if it's a 20-minute show. I'll do the best I can. Okay, much love, my friends. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those flumes. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who've lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice, wherever you are on the rainbow, we love you. Happy Pride Month, babies. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Golden sparkles for the dead one himself. Glenn, wherever you are, we're thinking about you. Oof. We could use some good news, Glenn. Hope you show back up. And that is it. Okay. Much love. Later. Happy 1992.